Hello viewers, and a very warm welcome to another episode. Something a little bit different today. I'm just going to show how I've started to remove ICs from PCBs to be replaced. In the past I've always tried to remove the ICs in one piece, but sometimes I end up damaging some of the tracks on the board, which can be quite devastating, especially on an old computer. This one here that I'm working on is a Commodore Pet from 1977, so the board is quite important. Most of the ICs on here that I'm looking at swapping out at the moment are just standard logic chips, which are still available to buy new, or most of them anyway. I did remove a couple of these. I managed to get them out in one piece, but as I said, I did actually end up marking a couple of pads, pushing a couple around a little bit, and I moved a trace which I wasn't happy about. And then someone suggested to me about using some snips and actually cutting the legs off of the IC, which seems a bit barbaric. When I first heard about it, I thought, well, that sounds like a bit of a no-no. But I've since tried it, and I must say it's been very successful for me. Obviously, if you're more skilled at this than I am, then you may be able to carefully remove these ICs without damaging any pads. But I think even if even the very best of us are still going to struggle with some of these, because some of them can be quite badly corroded. So cleaning off the legs first with a little fiberglass pen, then applying some fresh solder can help remove the old solder to get the IC out. But inevitably, the more you fiddle around with it, the more heat you apply, you are going to end up damaging the pads. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. So I'm going to show you today my new method of removing these ICs. I've got one here to remove. Sorry, that one there, B1. And I'm going to be putting a socket in place so that if anything happens in the future and I have any problems, I can just pop the IC out and then insert another one. Going forward, it'll make things a lot easier. It's a shame the manufacturers didn't do this in the first place, but of course it adds to the costs, the total cost of the build, and all those pennies add up when it's into the millions. So it's quite understandable why they don't all do that. So we're going to do that next then. All I'm going to use, like I said, is these tin snips there, sorry, these leg snips, a solder sucker. I've got an old toothbrush there to clean up afterwards with some isopropyl alcohol, and a pair of tweezers to extract the legs afterwards. Okay, so let's get started. So it's this one here we're going to be removing. Before I start, I was going to remove this trace wire popped in from an experiment I was doing a couple of days ago. And then I can pop that leg back in when I need to. And that's for a whole other story. If you're following the Commodore Pet series I'm doing, this is part of that. You may want to go and have a look for that. I'll put a link in the description below actually, and you can follow my progress with this computer there on. Okay, so let's start by sniffing these legs out. Like I said, this seems quite barbaric to do it this way, but it seems to work quite well. So always try and get as close to the body as I can, the IC. There we go. Then you've got more to play with, or more to grab hold of when you unsolder those pins to remove them with a pair of tweezers. That's one side done. And the last one. There we go. That's that out now. That's done its last bit of time. Date code on that one's week 46 of 1977. That's the bit that always makes me cringe, removing the old original ICs. But unfortunately, if they're not working, then what can you do? Right, let's get those other pins out now. I have in the past added solder to them if they're really badly corroded. Fresh solder, clean it up first. But these ones don't look too bad. Let's see how we get on. There we go. So you don't want the soldering iron on the board too long, because otherwise you end up lifting or moving tracers. That's one side done. It's actually quite satisfying doing it this way, because I have sweated a lot trying to remove some of these without damaging the board. You can use solder braid as well to help suck up some last remnants of solder if you're trying to remove the IC without cutting the legs off. Whilst editing this, I've noticed that I'm still applying too much pressure to the pads. You can see that those last two there have slightly lifted. As time's gone on and I've removed more ICs since doing this, I've gotten even better at it. In fact, you wouldn't even know it was me that changed them. And the last one. There we are, the legs are out. We'll just give that a quick clean, because it'll be the last time I go under there before the new IC goes in. A bit of black there. Don't think that was me. Right, we'll turn it over now and get the last bits of solder out. There we go, just there. What I'll do, I'll just go over these quickly with a bit of fresh solder to help ease sucking it out of the holes. Now we use a solder sucker, make sure it's not blocked up from the last job. Start removing the old solder. Straight away, look, that just comes straight out nicely. Doesn't always come out first time, like that one there hasn't. But what I should do is I shall go back over that in a minute with some fresh solder. can actually see it cooling down. If you get any thicker traces, which is usually the voltage side, they can take a little bit longer because the heat gets absorbed. Add a bit more solder to those ones that haven't completely cleared. Since recording this video, I noticed my solder socket wasn't performing as well as usual, and I took it apart and gave it a good clean out. And it's actually working a lot more efficiently now in that it removes the solder in the first attempt. I think we've got a stubborn one there. There we go. Just try not to heat the board up too long, because that's ultimately what ends up damaging it. But sometimes I'm a bit too light with a soldering iron, not giving it enough chance to heat up. I think that's it. There we go, you can see right through that. Let's just see what the other side looks like. That's not too bad, is it? Let's go and give that another clean now, some isopropyl alcohol. Get any flux off. Do the other side as well. The stuff evaporates so it doesn't leave anything behind. Eventually I'll go over the whole board, which I can't wait to do because it's quite a grotty one, but I need to clean all the ICs as well because some of them are quite badly corroded. If I don't end up swapping those out, I shall end up cleaning them if I don't have to swap them out. Now I can just drop in the new seat for it, new socket. Sometimes I'll just drop in, but there's just a teeny tiny bit too much in there. They can end up pushing a leg up. Look, can you see that there? Just need to push it back down again. It's the only thing I don't like about these ones, but the ones with the round pins are just a bit too modern for me for these boards. That middle pin there, I was going to go over that again. It looks clear on this side, quite deceiving. But I can just see a bit of solder there. It's a little bit smaller, the hole there, the third one in from the left at the bottom. Let's see how that works. Another one now. When I did this the other day, I didn't film it and it went in straight away. It's always the way, isn't it? When you've got an audience, it never works out right. Yeah, you can see it pop up, look, on the side there. Well, at least I'm editing all this out because I could quite easily edit this out and make myself look amazing, but I'm not going to because it's just, I'll watch this back in years to come and I think, well, I was really good at that. But really, in reality, it didn't work straight first time. See if we're third time lucky. Will it just drop in like it did the other day with another one? And that one there still tight. Fourth one in. So the fourth one in now. There we go. There we are. That's in now, so now I just need to bend a couple of legs over to stop it dropping out. There we are, just bent over a leg there and that end, just to stop it from dropping down while applying the fresh solder to solder the new socket in place. You can just tape it down, but or a bit of blue tack, but sometimes it can end up melting. Just want to heat it up long enough so that the solder gets a chance to flow through to the other side, through the via, which is the little hole, because obviously this is a double-sided board. That's it, it's in. Clean. Well, that's the new socket in place. Very satisfyingly done. I really enjoy doing that. Going forward, I'm going to find this quite easy now, changing out ICs, because I did find it quite daunting before. This is one that I removed at the beginning, one of the first ones I removed, 74LS93N. That was in C9. Got it out in one piece, but I did end up moving a trace, like I mentioned before, which I was quite devastated about. This isn't the IC for this socket. I've already forgotten which one it is actually for this socket. It's an O2 SN74LS20N, I think. So this isn't the right one for this, but I just want to show the satisfaction of what it's like popping in an IC in a socket. And there you go, it's as simple as that. And if I ever have any problems, I can just lift that out. And I can even test it. If I ever get an IC tester, which I've been after for a while, I can just pop that into the tester and see if it's faulty. Or carry on using my scope, which I've been learning to do at the moment, which is very time consuming for me, because I'm a little bit slow. Okay, well I guess that just leaves me to say, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll be seeing you. And if you did enjoy watching this video, you may want to take a look at some of my other videos on similar themes. I'm always buying something on eBay, some more piece of technology, and trying to repair it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.